Hello, hello. We are live here on a Tipsy Tuesday. Super excited to have the lovely Kim here with me today. We are going to talk a little bit about like finding your freedom and having a little bit of fun and a transformation in your life. So for those who don't know me, I am Tiara, aka T, your wine diva. I am a wine rep. I am an actor, entrepreneur, entertainer, all sorts of fun things. And I am a coach or guru to be inside the speakeasy community where I met Kim here. And I'm super, super excited to feature her today. So Kim, can you give us a little bit about who you are and what you do?
So, as you said, my name is Kim. I'm Kim Freese, and I'm a transformational freedom coach. And I help people transform their lives and get past their old BS thinking that is keeping them stuck and blocked so that they can live the life of their dreams.
I love it. So how did you get into becoming a transformational freedom coach?
So, I use hypnosis, rapid transformational therapy, or RTT. Some people are familiar with it or have seen it come across their news feed with Marissa Peer. And I just didn't resonate with, therapist, practitioner, things like that. So transformational freedom coach, because what I do when I work with people through hypnosis, and I also coach them is help them transform their lives.
I love that. Hello, Leonie, all the way from Australia today. Mid-morning for her. So happy
Yeah.
to see you today. And for anyone that's hopping on, say hey, tell us where you're tuning in from and what's going on in your side of the world. Okay, so tell us a little bit about like your story and your background. How did you what led you to wanting to be a coach?
So I've spent over 30 years in either direct sales or network marketing. And I had people say, you should become a coach, right? Whatever a coach is. And I'm like, well, I'm already doing that. So I don't really understand the difference of that. How I got into hypnotherapy is I was actually at a crossroads in my last company. And I was like, I just don't know what I want to do. Like I wasn't jazzed about what I was doing anymore. And so I was like, what do I want to do that can impact people
Mhm.
and I can feel fulfilled doing it as well, right? And
Right.
so I was following Marissa Peer, and then all of a sudden I started getting like more emails from her, and I'm like, okay, I'm paying attention. And so I just looked into it and decided to go for it.
That is amazing. Oh my gosh. Leonie says that it is 100 degrees Fahrenheit where she is. Oh my
Oh,
goodness.
wow.
Yeah. I thought like it's been like close to 90 here in Southern California, but like, I mean, that's still blowing my mind in the middle of November. But I guess in Australia, that's like their summer, so it's a little bit normal. Princess says, help me finish my book. Could you actually, what kind of entrepreneur, who do you work with? That's probably a good place to go right there.
Great. So I work with entrepreneurs and executives that are stuck in whatever, right? They can be stuck in their business, they can be stuck in life, and really finding out what is the root cause of whatever is keeping them stuck so that they can move past that. Because guaranteed, it's not probably the first time that they've been stuck in some area of their life and not really known what to do to get past it or known what has caused it. And so I really get to the root cause and the reason of whatever that is. And then we work around that, figure out, like I said, figure out what it is and then work around it and then get past it.
Love it. So, can you talk a little bit more about like hypnotherapy? Because I feel like people who might not be connected to it or have had any experience with it, you see on TV, someone has like a watch and it goes in the front of their face, and then you're barking like a dog in like 2 seconds or something like that. So, like, can you really talk about like how does it really help you out and where the subject's mindset is going to be?
Sure. So there is stage hypnosis, which I do not do. But if you really want to bark like a dog, I will let you do that. But it's really just getting into a state of trance. So if most people drive a car, right, and maybe they're going to a job or they're taking their kids to school or whatever, and they have a familiar route that they go on. And then they get home and they go, wow, I don't remember passing that gas station that I pass every day on my
Mhm.
way home from work or way home from picking up the kids. And we are self-hypnotizing ourselves at that time just because we're just kind of in a trance state. It's familiar to us, we're going. And so it really is trance or a guided meditation, really. And so what happens is that we bypass the conscious mind, which is how we interact with most people, is via the conscious mind, and get to the subconscious mind, which is what runs our life 95% of the time. So if you've ever seen a photograph of an iceberg where they show you the top of the iceberg on top of the water, and then they show you what the iceberg looks like underneath the water, then that underneath the water is really your subconscious mind, and it's 95% of that. And so what we think we're doing consciously is really 95% of it is done by our subconscious
That's amazing. Princess is like, yeah, I am stuck. What's the cost of your service?
mind.
I love it already. Oh my gosh, I had a question and now it like left me. I'm so just so excited. This is how it goes. So I know like I've worked with you in terms of like, with like weight loss and kind of like mindset on eating. So is there something that you really favor talking about or working with your clients about?
Pretty much anything. What I find that comes up a lot are just limiting beliefs.
Mhm.
One that is seems to be the root of a lot of things, and for a lot of people is the root of I am not enough. And that can show up in different ways, right? It can be I'm not good enough, or I'm not smart enough, or I'm not whatever enough. Like you can fill in the blank because you've probably
Mhm.
had those thoughts at
Oh
some
yeah.
point in your life or know somebody that's had those thoughts. And it really is, where did you pick that up? You pick that
Mhm.
up between the age of 0 and 5 most of the time. And I don't know about you, but I don't remember what I was doing or thinking or anything at those early ages. I don't
Oh
remember a lot of my
yeah.
teenagers either, for that matter, but um, just I don't have a conscious memory of it. But once we
Mhm.
bypass the conscious mind and get to the subconscious, it remembers everything. And so I have clients that have memories in hypnosis that they were like, God, I had no idea. Like I didn't know what that was.
Mhm.
And so that's what, yeah. So really it's just helping people get past their blocks. And it can show up in different ways. Like you said, weight loss. We did a little bit of different work. I mean, we did like a group hypnosis session during the weight loss program. But I did some other energy work and stuff with that. Um, so it's just, I will say smoking is not my favorite thing to do, but if somebody wants help with to stop smoking, we can certainly do that.
That's amazing. So I remember one of the things that you helped us with when we were doing that program is like energy clearing and not just like our own personal, but like, like generations back. So can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so as we grow up and we can hold trapped emotions in our body. And so through the metabolism program that we did, it was really focused around metabolism, hormones, and things like that for women. But we have trapped emotions for could be anything in our life. So I just find where that trapped emotion is, um, and or what the trapped emotion is, and then I clear that for people. So and that's one thing that we don't actually have to be face to face with, because I would just message you guys and say, okay, you're done. Your clearing is done. Here's your report.
Oh yeah.
These are the emotions that I cleared for you. And so we can have trapped emotions not only from that we've taken on ourselves, like we were terrified by something and we held that in our body somewhere, but we can inherit trapped emotions from either of our parents, and those trapped emotions can be passed down generational. So maybe it was an inherited emotion from our dad, but he might have picked it up from his mom, who picked it up from her mom, who picked it up from her dad. Like it can go back multiple generations. And once we clear that emotion, it clears it 7 generations back and 7 generations forward. So, if I'm working with a family member and I've cleared it for them, I'm like, woohoo, I've cleared it for me too, and for my kids, right? And their kids and their kids.
And so on. I love that. So we were talking a little bit about like we have limiting beliefs within ourselves. And, we have to learn about like, I am enough, and kind of coming up with more positive affirmations. And I know you've created this deck, and I want to hear a little bit more about that. And, what can people use a deck for, and kind of what makes your deck different?
Awesome. So I don't have a physical deck here to show you because I literally earlier this week pressed the payment button and they are being processed. So the deck is called the Wildly Curious deck. And has anybody ever said, and I would love to see in the comments, if you have ever said a affirmation to yourself and in the back of your mind, you said, that's not true. I don't believe that.
100%.
Right? Absolutely. I have too. So by changing that affirmation to a question. So here, give me an affirmation that you may have said that you're like, I don't think so. Like your subconscious says, that's not right, girl.
I'm a millionaire. I've said it so many times.
Right? Okay, so I'm a millionaire. So if you change that to a question, why is it so easy for me to become a millionaire?
Ooh.
Now your brain, your subconscious, and your conscious mind have to go to work to find the answer. You don't have to wait for the answer, and you may never actually consciously get the answer, but your subconscious mind is always looking for that. So you're out, you get, a surprise check in the mail, and then your subconscious goes, that's why you're going to be a millionaire. You get this great new gig, this new show that you're in. That's why you're going to be a millionaire, because you're a fantastic actress. So all of these things then start coming up and giving you the answer without you actually waiting for the answer, if that makes sense.
I love that. So let's see. Someone said something about, do you use EFT tapping?
I don't use it with my clients.
Okay. All right. And Stacia says, congratulations on your deck creation and launch.
Thank you, Stacia.
Yes. And then Leslie repeated, why is it so easy for me to become a millionaire? I'm going to write that down because I love it. I love it. I love it. And Leslie also says affirmations are so powerful. And I think they are so powerful, but when you don't believe it, that's how, that's where your resistance is. And that's where manifestation can't happen if you're not really feeling it. So I love the curiosity aspect of it, because like you said, your brain looks for the answer, and it's just like, you can't help but feel good about it.
Right. And so why is the sky blue? Well, I'd have to really think about that and go back to school to figure out the answer to that. But my brain is already looking for the answer.
Right.
Like I don't have to go, okay, let me, it's like a computer program. It's if you're searching for a file on your computer, and even if the file has been wiped off, the computer is still searching for the answer, right? So Leonie says, I am so worthy of abundance. And that is a great affirmation. But if you're not believing it, why am I so worthy of abundance? Why am I so abundant?
I love it. I love that. So if anyone's looking to get your deck, how can they find it and where can they go?
So wildlycuriousdeck.com, and they can place their order there, and hopefully mid-December. I was really hoping early December, and I'm still pushing my printer for that early December timeline. But once I get it, then they will have it as soon as I can turn it around. So it will be before Christmas, unless something unforeseen happens with the printer.
Fair enough. Okay. And so for anyone that might want to book sessions with you, what is your session process? Do you have consultation to see if you guys click well? How does that work?
Absolutely. So I usually do a 20-minute discovery session, and that's for us both to discover if we're fit. And most people have questions about what RTT is and what I do and how it can help them. And so it's 20 minutes, but as you know, T, when we get on the phone or on the Zoom, it doesn't always last 20 minutes. It's usually 30 minutes or longer. I think my last one yesterday was like an hour. So,
it just happens that way.
And really, I'm there to serve, right? So it's not a sales call. Some people think, oh, I have to get on the phone, she's going to tell me. It's not a sales call at all. Just find out, what are you dealing with? Do I think that RTT can help you, and how that will look for you? And if there's an opportunity to give you some coaching and some advice and things, while we're there on that discovery call, then absolutely, I'm going to give that to you. I'm there to serve you. And then, so I do that first. And then we book, whatever you want for follow-up. If you want just an emotional clearing session, I do those. I don't really have a calendar spot for that, but because I do it in my time. But that's something I can do, as well as the RTT sessions. And those sessions I say allow 2 hours for. They're usually 90 minutes up to 2 hours. And we really just dig in and, work on whatever the person is working on. Then they also get follow-up coaching throughout the month. The energy clearing session is part of that as well. And just kind of, they have access to me, for their 90 days or, whatever, 3 sessions, whatever they're working with me with.
And I gotta say, like, I've worked with Kim and she's very responsive and super, super helpful. And I love it. Leonie says, do you ship to Australia for your cards?
I can figure that out, Leonie. I don't have it set up that way now, so you probably won't get it by Christmas, but I don't know how long it takes to ship, but we can certainly work that out. And those, you would have to be responsible for the shipping costs of that. So we could work that out and figure out that information for you if you're interested. Yeah.
That is amazing. So what kind of inspired you to create this deck?
It really was a divine download. And I was talking to a couple of other people and I'm like, I don't even remember now when the idea came, but I work a lot with Emily Jean Blatt and through the Akashic records and stuff. And I said, okay, I have this idea. She's one of my coaches. I have, a coach that has a lot of coaches. So she's my spiritual coach. And so I said, I have this idea. And she's like, yes, that's definitely it. And she and 3 other people were on a focus group for me as I was creating the deck. And I had the affirmations down. We had done some tweaking. We had them all done. It really was going to become an affirmation deck. And I had it all down. And then it was like, you need to write a little booklet with it. A lot of decks have like oracle cards and things have books with them. And so I was writing the book and I was getting stuck. And I'm like, why am I sticking with some of these things? And I realized in the process of writing the book, I was asking a lot of questions inside the book, like for people to really think on. Like most people, like, you don't need a book with affirmations, but this was like, okay, no, if you're going to say this affirmation, because they're specific with the work that I do, then you need to kind of give them a little background, a little whatever. So 2 or 3 sentences, and I was finding they were questions, and I'm like, ah. And so just one morning, it just like hit me, like I kept hitting this stopping point, and I'm like, it's not an affirmation deck at all, at all. So I opened up another document in Word and made them all questions.
I love it.
And then I sent it to. Yeah. And then I sent it to my focus group and I said, guess what? The deck just switched completely and I need your feedback now. And they're like, oh my gosh, that's so amazing.
How like things just kind of come to you, and especially once you've taken time and you're working on yourself and you do your meditations and you just get these beautiful downloads of like where your soul really wants you to go. And I love that you said that you're a coach that has a lot of coaches, because I feel like there's so many times where people are like, I don't have a mentor. I don't have this person. Like, and I think that it's not that you can't trust anyone that doesn't have a coach, but I think if someone is going to be a coach and going to be guiding someone else, it's good to know that they're also open to other people kind of helping them along their way.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And I have at least 3 coaches right now. So like that I actively work with. And then I have others that I can like call up and say, hey,
I need help with this something. Because everyone's really good at different things. And so it's good to have like a community of coaches.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Hello, Wendy Sue. How are you? All right. So for anyone that wants to get in contact with you, how can they best reach you?
Just to get on my calendar, go to bookwithkim.com, because that'll schedule a 20-minute discovery call. If you'd rather have it as a virtual coffee, we can do that. Just book the 20-minute slot. And that's, it's all it is just getting a slot on my calendar. So even though it says it's a discovery call, if you don't want to talk about that, then we won't talk about that. Have a get to know you session. And then there's going to be a get to know you session. I'm very flexible. I just want to help people get to whatever their dreams and goals are.
That's beautiful. All right. Is there anything, any last thoughts or anything that you would like to leave the audience with this evening?
Hmm. I wasn't prepared for that. It's just, really, if you're not working on yourself, then start working on yourself, because we are never at that level that we want to be. I mean, you know, even Warren Buffett probably does some personal growth, right? He really, probably
Mhm.
works on himself. So I don't think we ever reach a level that we can't stop working on ourselves, and then not that there's anything wrong with us, but we need to be fixed. Let's get that clear. There's
Mhm.
nothing wrong with you at all. But do you want to be better? Like, I can be satisfied with what's going on in my life, or what's the word? Content, I guess. And that word content used to really bother me, because I thought, if I'm content with this, then that means I don't want more. And I always want more, want to be more, do more, have more. And so, yeah, find a coach to work with. Garrett's a great coach.
Thank
um,
you.
Reach out to me. We've got, if we can't help you, we know a lot of coaches
Oh,
that
yeah.
can help you. So yeah, reach out to one of us and we'll be happy to.
Oh, for sure. So, for anyone that might not be a part of our community, we are both a part of the Social Soul Tribe as well as the Speak Easy community. The Social Soul Tribe is a beautiful community on Facebook. It's got almost 2,000 people, and we are networking and just growing our soulful businesses together. The Speak Easy is an amazing paid coaching community where you can learn a lot more about running your business in a soulful way. And there's an amazing Speaksy app that you can download on iPhone or Android and just be a part of this beautiful community that we have going on.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So thank you so much for joining me today, Kim. Thank you for those of you who are enjoying this broadcast. It really means the world to me that you are tuning in and loving our content. Love you so much. Have a beautiful rest of your day.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.